Guys, Evotix.com, they've grown from call it a $10, $15 million run rate a year ago to now over 17 million. So call it 50% year over year growth. They've only added 10 extra people. So that's efficient growth. They've got plenty of cash in the bank, burning somewhere net burn wise, call it 100, 200 grand per month with a clear path to profitability or break even midway through 2023 here. It's the definition of controlled growth, not irresponsible all out growth, burning millions per month, controlled growth. Hey, folks, my guest today is Matthew Elson. He's the CEO of Evotix. He's transforming how companies manage health, safety, and risk and engage with their employees, delivering safe, nurturing, and compliant workplaces. Matthew, you ready to take us to the top?
Yes, I am, Nathan.
You were one of our top episodes last year, and I think it's because you told the story of how you effectively bought software for like $1 and then grew it to $14 million in revenue. That is Evotix. Walk us through, if folks missed that episode, walk us through what customers you serve and how they use you.
Yeah, so we serve mid-sized businesses. We think of it as organizations of between 250 and 10,000 employees, and we help them to meet their health and safety needs. So if you're responsible for health and safety, you need to record, investigate your accidents. You need to understand your risks and mitigations. Your people are trained, your assets are inspected, your contractors are competent. Lots of our target customers are still doing that with pen and paper and Excel spreadsheets. Obviously, that's inefficient. It's difficult to demonstrate you're compliant, and you can't really learn anything from your data. So customers are using our solution to capture, store, organize their information, workflows to demonstrate compliance, and powerful BI to slice and dice their data and learn where the improvement opportunities are. But for us, the key thing, I was going to say, Nathan, for us, the key thing is about engaging employees, because you only get so far with health and safety with rules and procedures, right? So it's all about engaging your employees. So we're mobile first, very user friendly. We look to get our app in every employee's hands and embed safety at the heart of core operations.
GlaxoSmithKline, New Balance, you've got great customers. I also love it. Looks like you're onboarding new customers and marketing with your own podcast called Two Bald Guys Talking Safety. Is that now launched and live?
Yeah, no, that's been a great marketing initiative. A little bit of humor, a little bit as you do with successful podcasts, but a serious message as well, and it's getting a great followership.
Well, that's good to hear. Now, the reason I invited you back on is because we always do a survey of the fastest growing SaaS companies of the prior year, and you responded with some impressive growth. So help us understand, what did growth look like over the past 12 months?
Yeah, so we will end our financial year on about 15 million of sterling of ARR.
And 1.5 million?
15 million, yes. And so that'll be 40% growth for us.
So that's up from, call that what? You were doing about 10 million in run rate about a year ago?
Yeah, just over 10.
10 a year ago. Okay, very good. Now, what drove a lot of that growth? Was it expanding into current accounts or brand new customers altogether?
Mostly brand new customers. So we've got pretty good net retention numbers. So we're at 110, 115% net retention. So we're expanding existing customers, but the core for us is new logo acquisition.
Pull back that onion for me. 110 net dollar retention is made up by looking at obviously gross churn annually plus expansion. What was gross churn before adding back expansion?
Yeah, so we're churning about 5%, and so expansion then is 15% plus.
Oh, what's going on there, YouTube? Good to see you guys. Now imagine this. You love watching these interviews with SaaS founders, but imagine if we took all of the valuation data out from over 2,807 interviews I've done manually. Saves you a lot of time. Well, we've done this. We've built it into the beautiful interface inside of FounderPath. Check this out. I'll show you how you can access this in a second, but you log in, you connect your Stripe account, you see your valuation real time, you can see what it changed over the past 88 days, and even set goals for valuation this year. Now, the secret to valuation is there's many different ways to value a SaaS business. So the reason you're going to see 3 or 4 different valuations inside of your FounderPath dashboard, this is all free by the way, is because depending on who's doing the buying of your SaaS company, you're going to get a different valuation. A VC is going to pay a different valuation. Private equity firm is different. If you're going to do a minority sale, that's different. And if you sell the whole business, that's a different valuation. You can see all those when I hover over here. Right. So the teal is what a VC would pay. Yellow is what private equity. And red is if you sold the whole thing outright. Now, what's cool about this is not built off random data. Again, you guys hear these interviews on YouTube. All these data are built from real-time valuation data points founders share with us on the show. So traction, 1.2 million, seed round, 3.7 raise. They sold 22% of their business. Go in here and filter by the event. Maybe you only want to see companies that have sold the whole business. Well, here are a bunch that have been acquired, the valuation and the multiple. Maybe you're going out right now and you're raising your seed round. Well, go in here and look at all this recent seed deals that went down, what they raised, what valuation they raised at, and what percent that they sold. There's never been a larger data set of SaaS valuations than what you can get now inside of FounderPath, and we're thrilled to bring it to you. All right, we're going to go back to the YouTube video here in a second, but if you want to check this tool out, if you want to jump in and sign up, you can check it out for free to get your valuation at this link, founderpath.com/products/valuations. Or if you go to founderpath.com and hover over products, click on get your valuation here and go ahead and sign up to give it a whirl. Again, all that valuation data live right inside the platform. I hope to see you there. All right, let's jump back into the interview. And how have you oriented your expansion team? Are there a team of customer success reps with an expansion quota, or how do you get that performance?
Yeah, we restructured our customer success. So for us, the customer success is purely customer success, right? So it's about helping customers to get the maximum value from their relationship with us and using the solution. We then have separately a customer development manager role, which is about driving that expansion revenue. And for us, the expansions come from additional seats. They come from new functionality because we're a modular solution, and they come from expansions where we've got into a division or a geography and we're able to go kind of company wide.
Mm-hmm. So just to be clear, your success team has no responsibility for driving upsells. The customer management team does.
Well, everybody who's in part of the wider customer success family, of course, has a role in making customers happy, and happy customers buy more. So in that sense, yes, all of our customer success teams have a role to play. But in terms of the actual commercials and driving the commercials, it's with the customer development managers who sit within the new business team.
Okay. How many customer developer managers do you have?
We've got 3.
3 today. And how big is the total?
And then we've got a couple of sort of BDR equivalent roles.
And how big is the full customer success team today?
Customer success team is about, I'm going to say 35 probably.
And then what's total team size? Everybody at the company.
Yeah, but within customer success, I'm including customer success managers, support team, implementations consultants, solutions consultants.
Mm-hmm. And what's the total
whole
team
company
size?
is 160.
160. Okay, so you've hired about 10 people since we last chatted back in July. You told me back then revenue was about 14 million. So you've added about $1 million of run rate. Is that accurate?
Yeah, I think July may have been $14 million. I'm now saying 15 million pounds. So there's a difference there.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry, when you told me you're finishing with 15 million this fiscal year, that was pounds or US dollars?
Pounds, 15 million pounds.
Okay. So that would be what, 17 million, something like that?
Yeah, something like that at the current exchange rate.
Yeah. Okay, interesting. So 17 million in ARR, 160 folks on the team, 10 new hires. You've got the CS role cranking. Talk to me. You mentioned one of your key things in terms of upselling is obviously, they're buying new features, right? Or new functions is what you said. What are some new features you've built over the past 6 months that is enabling you to drive and sell into new functions?
Well, I mean, partly it's that the initial purchase tends to be a more limited set of functionality, so instant risk audits. And then we have other modules like people and training, assets, contractor that people buy. But a lot of our upsell is being driven by a solution which we call Learn. And that's about embedding rich content in day-to-day activity. So your classic kind of LMS is a classroom experience, right? You go and you study it, and you do some quizzes, and you demonstrate that you've done your studying. We're embedding micro video in day-to-day workflows, so that imagine this use case, right? So I'm an engineer. My job is to overhaul this piece of equipment, and I haven't done it for 6 months. What do? classically.
You're talking physical. You're working on an assembly
Right.
line, something like
I'm
that.
on an assembly line,
Yeah.
exactly. I'm in the plant and I'm doing an overhaul. So what would I do traditionally? Well, I'd go to the filing cabinet, I'd get out the file, hopefully I'd read some of it, maybe I'd fill in a paper form to say that I was ready to go. Imagine how much more engaging and compelling that is if I go to the machine, with my tablet, I scan a QR code. It shows me some video and some diagrams. I do an online quiz. I do a point of work risk assessment. I do my lockout, tag out, and off I go. And so you can see that we come at that from a safety perspective.
Yeah.
So for us, that's doing the job safely, but actually it's doing the job effectively. And so that's putting safety right at the heart of core operations. And that makes the solution very sticky because it's an operational solution and not just a sort of a compliance solution, as some people might think of safety.
Now, just to be clear, I mean, are you working mainly with, you have a bunch of industries listed on your website. Is the biggest one manufacturing in terms of what represents the most revenue?
Yeah, manufacturing is the biggest, but that'll be about 20%. So we've got pretty good referenceability across a number of sectors.
What's the second biggest?
Manufacturing, construction, transport logistics, food and drink, retail, municipalities, housing. Those were all, we've got great referenceability across all of those sectors and more.
And just to be clear, it's not just like, hey, worker on the assembly line, watch the safety videos so you don't break your hand in an assembly line machine. It's also mental health as well, right?
Right. So it's about more widely, it's about engaging employees and giving them a safe and healthy environment. So we can all see the kind of ESG agenda, right? The ESG agenda. You different people have different views, but there's a reason why we're talking about ESG, right? Which is that we expect organizations, companies to be good, responsible corporate citizens. And part of that is about looking after their employees, keeping them safe, but also looking after their mental health and their well-being. Some of the biggest challenges that companies have is about engaging with their employees, ensuring that their employees are happy, competent to do the job, effective, and particularly with the rise of remote working, that division between home life and office life is breaking down, and so more and more organizations see that they've got a role in kind of helping employees to lead fulfilling work and work lives and social lives.
Let's go macro here for a second. Since the last time we chatted, interest rates have gone up 4%. Equity markets have basically shut down. And what I like to say is the capital efficient founders are the ones that are going to survive, right? So you are very, I would say, capital efficient and very creative, especially considering your origin story. I think founded in 1995 as She Software. I forget how you got involved, but you took it over eventually. And then I think you went out and did a 6 million Series A in 2018, a 5 million Series B in 2020, and at a 50 million valuation. What are you seeing today in terms of valuations?
I mean, it's really hard to say, isn't it? I mean, obviously the public markets are way down. My reading of it is that solidly performing SaaS businesses are still getting good multiples and
what does that mean? Are you solidly performing?
I'd say that we are, yeah. I mean, we've got a very strong track record of growth, high retention, right? All of the SaaS metrics that you'd like to look at, we've got great performance on.
Mm-hmm.
And so, we're not one of those 200 or 300% growth but burn a lot of cash businesses, right? We are, in the kind of, we're obviously in the growth rather than the value universe of investments, but we're demonstrating that. Our growth is clearly creating value for investors and creating a strong and sustainable business.
Mm-hmm. And so are you guys profitable today?
We're slightly cash burning, but very much controlled. And obviously in the current environment, we're very much keeping an eye on that. So we will be cash break even by the middle of next year, or middle of this year rather now.
And when you say sort of controlled or manageable burn, I mean, are we talking like $100,000 net burn a month or like $1 million net burn per month?
Closer to the 100,000 than the million, right? And
Yeah.
we've got plenty of cash on the balance sheet to see ourselves through to break even.
So I guess, how do you define plenty of cash on the balance sheet to get through to break even? Is it a number of months of runway? And if so, what's the number you're optimizing for today?
Well, given that our cash burn is declining, right, we've got enough cash to go through to break even. So, you know, in that sense, right, the burn rate isn't an issue.
Yep. And you think it's going to take you about 12 to 16 more months to get to break even?
No, I said it's by the middle of this year.
Oh, this year, not next year, middle of this year.
Yeah,
Okay,
well,
so
I corrected myself because, of course, we're now into January.
we
It
are
was
welcome.
next.
Happy New Year, everyone. Welcome to
Yeah.
2023. So, all right. So if you're burning 100 grand, 200 grand a month times 6 months, you're basically saying you've got more than 1.2, 1.5, whatever million in the bank. You feel very good about that position.
Yeah, no, and we got plenty of cash to trade through. Yeah.
Matt, what about the other side of this, right? I mean, in a recessionary period, creative founders like you can excel. You've already proven your chops in terms of deal making. I mean, are you looking at rolling up other EHS companies right now? And how do you make sure you stay creative?
No, we're not fundamentally looking at sort of an industry consolidation play, because I think the technical integration, is a big diversion. It's a tough job already growing a company fast without facing that. But we're interested potentially in some. We could do some sort of bolt-on technical acquisitions where there's interesting technology out there, particularly around image recognition.
Would you target like 2 to 3 person tech teams pre-revenue,
yeah, exactly.
So you're not paying some
So,
big
so,
financial
so think
multiple?
think of it as tech acquisition and a bit of acqui-hire.
Yep. All right, that makes a lot of sense. Well, we're rooting for you. Now, any plans right now to raise capital? Do you have term sheets from anybody, or no, you're good?
No, we're good.
All right, very good. Matt, on that note, let's wrap up here with the famous 5. Number 1, favorite business book.
The hard thing about hard things.
Yep. Number 2, is there, by the way, you're consistent. Same answer as 7 months ago. Number 2, is there a CEO you're following or studying?
Yeah, not nobody specific just now. I mean, everybody looks at Elon Musk, but not to follow his not to follow his playbook.
Number 3, what's your favorite online tool for building Evotix?
So I think I said last time 15.5, which is a great tool for employee engagement.
You did. David and his team over there are doing a nice job. Number 4, how many hours of sleep do you get every night?
About 8.
That's good. And situation, married, single, kids?
So I have a partner and a stepdaughter and a grandchild.
Oh, that's very exciting. And did you have a birthday, or you're still 56?
No, I'm 57.
Happy late birthday. Last question. Something you wish you knew when you were 20.
I think that there's no need to rush things, right? You build your experience over time. You keep your eye open for opportunities, and that's how it all comes together.
Guys, Evotix.com, they've grown from, call it, a $10-15 million run rate a year ago to now over 17 million. So call it 50% year over year growth. They've only added 10 extra people. So that's efficient growth. They've got plenty of cash in the bank, burning somewhere net burn wise, call it 100, 200 grand per month, with a clear path to profitability or break even midway through 2023 here. It's the definition of controlled growth, not irresponsible all-out growth, burning millions per month. Controlled growth. We're big fans. Matthew, thanks for taking us to the top.
Yep. Thank you, Nathan. Bye-bye.
One more thing before you go. We have a brand new show every Thursday at 1 p.m. Central. It's called Shark Tank for SaaS. We call it Deal or Bust. One founder comes on, 3 hungry buyers. They try and do a deal live, and the founder shares back-end dashboards, their expenses, their revenue, ARPU, CAC, LTV, you name it, they share it. And the buyers try and make a deal live. It is fun to watch every Thursday, 1 p.m. Central. Additionally, remember, these recorded founder interviews go live. We release them here on YouTube every day at 2 p.m. Central. To make sure you don't miss any of that, make sure you click the subscribe button below here on YouTube, the big red button, and then click the little bell notification to make sure you get notifications when we do go live. I wouldn't want you to miss breaking news in the SaaS world, whether it's an acquisition, a big fundraise, a big sale, a big profitability statement, or something else. I don't want you to miss it. Additionally, if you want to take this conversation deeper and further, we have by far the largest private Slack community for B2B SaaS founders. You want to get in there. We've probably talked about your tool if you're running a company, or your firm if you're investing. You can go in there and quickly search and see what people are saying. Sign up for that at nathanlatka.com /Slack. In the meantime, I'm hanging out with you here on YouTube. I'll be in the comments for the next 30 minutes. Feel free to let me know what you thought about this episode. And if you enjoyed it, click the thumbs up. We get a lot of haters that are mad at how aggressive I am on these shows, but I do it so that we can all learn. We have to counter those people. We got to push them away. Click the thumbs up below to counter them and know that I appreciate your guys' support. All right, I'll be in the comments. See ya.